Hello, everybody. This is Insane Monster, and this is part two of What If Tanjiro Was a Shaman. Now then, if you haven't seen part one, please stop watching right now and go watch part one so that you're all caught up. Now, with that all being said, uh, I do hope you will enjoy this video and have a happy New Year's. So, hit it. Okay, now then. As Tanjiro is on his way to final selection, Sabito and Makomo Makomo uh, asked Tanjiro if it was okay for their father to stay behind, with them tagging along with uh, Tanjiro as his ghosts to use during final selection. As Tanjiro states, it's fine. He said he wanted to watch over Nezuko while we were away. As they accepted that, though, we see a bit of a flashback of Tanjiro's father talking to him, stating, Tanjiro, I don't think you should use or dance as a means of combat for now. Looking at his son, he continues, that Giyu man, he seemed shocked by how you were able to fight. It was unfamiliar to him. From what the Urokodaki says, he's supposed to be a high-ranking member, meaning he's supposed to know all, well, at least be familiar with the other fighting styles, like the breath of water you've been learning. But he wasn't. And it got him to have a confused look on his face. I believe that would be quite common if you were to continue to use it. We know more about it. We shouldn't use it. As he states, for now, I'll be the spirit for Nezuko. If things go well, maybe Sabito and Makomo will become spirits that you can use as well. As he states, yeah, I get it. The look Giyu had on his face, it looked odd. And is it some kind of lost breath style? I don't get it. His father can then state, I am not sure. But if it wasn't passed down our family, the knowledge of its combat abilities, be known as a breath style, must have been for a reason. Maybe it was hidden. And I doubt our ancestors would hide it without any reason to it. Tanjiro nervously says, you have a point. If it was hidden, showing it off wouldn't be a good idea. At least until we know more, right? As his father shook his head yes. Which we now switch back to Tanjiro, stating, Sabito, Makomo, let's do this. Let's pass final selection. As the two spirits smirked, stating, yeah. Though it's kind of odd that you have this kind of power. That Makomo states, with Sabito saying, odd, but quite useful, especially for us. Punching his fists together, he states, can tear up that bastard for what he did. As they continue the final selection, after seeing the trees that are surrounding the mountains? Sabito explains this is where final selection is hosted. These trees bloom year round. And also, these trees are quite special when it comes to demons. It wards them away. With it surrounding the mountain, well, it acts like a natural cage, keeping captured demons inside. As he states, wait, so final selection is that we have to slay demons inside here? As Mikomo states, sort of. You have to survive a number of days while inside this domain. Meaning, during the day would be the best time to rest, while at night you have to stay on your toes so you won't be surprise attacked and eaten. With Tanjiro being a little nervous. So, yeah. As they go up to where they see all of the applicants for final selection, Tanjiro sees a lot of people there. All of them more or less around his age, which does surprise him as he just waits until two small children, one with white hair and one with black hair, show up. As they state the final selection and how it works. They need to spend 7 days, if I'm not mistaken, inside of this domain filled with demons, explaining that they're all trapped inside. Demons that were captured by demon slayers and brought here. As Tanjiro prepares himself mentally, the two small children state that it's time to begin as they all entered the forest. As Tanjiro enters, it isn't long until he encounters two demons. Quickly using the fourth style, well, the fourth form of the water breathing style, striking tide to cut both of their heads off. Afterwards, he clenches his fist with the sword in his hands as he states, I did it. I slayed demons. As Sabito stated, of course you did. You have the right tool and the right method of taking them down. As he smirks. They continue until it doesn't take them long to find a large armed demon. The thing is like a giant lump just made out of arms. As Sabito states, it's him. I think we meet him so quickly. As he grabs one of the applicants for the Demon Slayer position, Tanjiro instinctively runs forward, using Water Wheel to cut that arm off that held the applicant. As he begins to run off, Tanjiro yells at him to stop. We can beat him. Unfortunately, he's just gone. Afterwards, the demon then remarks, oh, another fox. How fortunate. Honestly, Urokodaki should learn. After all, I've already eaten so many of his little foxes. As he begins to explain that he's eaten like 14 of Orokodaki's students, all of them wearing those fox masks that are supposed to be good luck charms, but he's been using them to identify his students and go after them directly. This honestly pisses off all three of them, even more so when he begins to describe how he killed Sabito and Makomo. Afterwards, Tanjiro said, "Enough." Extending his hand with the sword in it, a light begins to glow, showing Sabito and Makomo to the demon. Him wide-eyed, he states, "No, no, you're supposed to be dead. I killed you. I ate you." As they state, "You did, but that can't stop us from killing you now." As Tanjiro stated, "Sabito, into the sword, and Hakusho," which the Hakusho, I believe, is the name of the checkered clothing he's wearing, that he always wears, as he tells Makomo, "Into the sandals." This has a reaction, turning the green of his Hakusho blue, and the lines of the checkered pattern into wave shapes, as well as connecting it to his sword, with his sword becoming larger with a wave pattern on it. As for the sandals that Makomo goes into, it's light, it extends upward from his legs, creating a kind of water boot or water sandal deal that goes up his leg a bit. As the demon is surprised by this, he states, "What the hell? What the hell are you?" "It doesn't matter. Kill you. I'll kill you and make Orokodaki suffer." As Tanjiro smells, jumping away, the hands burst out of the ground as they continue to reach for him. Though unexpectedly, Tanjiro is able to push off of air with his water shoes, or water sandals that he has. This being a similar reaction, or at least visually looking similar to the ninth form of the water breathing technique, known as splashing water flow. Visually, it looks like that, as he's able to even bounce off of air. Though not able to stand, he goes around in midair using this, while using the techniques that he learned as a way of slicing the demon's hands as they come towards him, using striking tide, as well as flowing dance. Finding this way of combat interesting and quite useful, though he still needs to work on it to improve. As a hand unknowingly goes towards his head, he quickly swings his head to headbutt it clean downwards, causing the hand to be forced off course. With Sabito mentioning, "Man, are you sure you couldn't split that boulder with your forehead?" As Tanjiro states, "All right, that's enough. We're ending this." Going straight towards the demon using his new abilities with his water sandals. He goes straight for the demon, expecting his large neck to be able to withstand it. Sabito states, "Don't hesitate. His neck is thick, but remember, you split that boulder in one strike." As he uses water surface slash, cutting the demon's head clean off. Afterwards, he looks, smelling a scent of sadness coming from the demon. You can tell he didn't want this. He didn't want to be a demon. None of them did. None of them wanted this tortured life. He walked toward the demon's body, holding one of his hands, praying for him to be given salvation. The demon began to cry. As Sabito and Mikomo see this, just look, not quite understanding, as he dies, along with his entire body just disintegrating. Sabito asked, "Why?" Tanjiro stated, "I smelled a strong sense of sadness coming from him. He didn't want this. He, he regretted so much. They may be demons now. They were human, weren't they?" As Sabito and Mikomo looked downwards, saying, "They were. I don't think they wanted to hurt anybody when it came down to it, but they had no choice if they wanted to live." Tanjiro stated, "Yeah, and these demons, I'm not sure, but I can only see them as tragic creatures. Sad." So they went off and continued. They fought more and more, slaying demons during the night while taking a rest during the day, with Sabito and Mikomo taking watch during the day while Tanjiro was resting. Eventually, the selection finished. Tanjiro went back, seeing how few of them were left. Almost stated, "I guess you were also one of the unlucky ones back then, huh?" Sabito clenching his fist, stating, "We were." And just and what a real demon could do, I guess. As the two girls congratulated them on passing final selection, they were given an explanation on some things until one of the examinees, a boy with a scar on his face, grabbed one of the girls quite rudely by the hair as Tanjiro gripped his arm, threatening to break it if he didn't let go of her. He kept squeezing harder and harder until the guy complied with his demand and let go of the girl. Asking if she was okay, she stated she was fine. And just as they continued, to the point to where they showed off the metal ore, stating that they have to select an ore to be used in the making of their sword. This is also part of your final selection. After looking at it, he wasn't sure which one to grab. So, taking a whiff, he noticed something as he went for a chunk of ore that caught his attention with its scent. Afterwards, on the way back, Tanjiro was somewhat sulking. As Mikomo states, "It's okay, Tanjiro. After all, it's not like they would have known anything either way. They were low-ranked demons, but they were caught after all. You're looking for a way to uh, find a cure for your sister? It would most likely have to be from what would be considered a higher ranking demon, wouldn't it?" Sabito chimes in, stating he has a point, but that also means that they're higher ranked, that they know something about how to turn their sister back or not. They will be much stronger. I doubt they'll be very cooperative. though it will be dangerous either way. As Tanjiro sighed, stating, I know, I just wish we could have gotten something. As he remembered the talk he had with uh, Kurokodaki about the only demon who can turn humans into demon, Muzan, yes, Muzan, explaining that he was actually the first demon, has lived for far longer than any of the demons he's made. Being nervous about this, he knew that one day he might have to face Muzan, the way and out how to restore his sister. Though, think for a moment. Muzan was a human. How did he become a demon? Afterwards, he is able to return back to where Rokodaki lives in the house, finally sighing relief from this, only to see a door get kicked out from Orokodaki's house, with Sabito stating, who the hell is kicking his doors out? As we then see Nezuko, Tanjiro rushes over to her and hugs her, stating that he was worried about her, that he was scared that she was never going to wake up. Orokodaki sees this, he hugs them both, telling them thank you for coming back. Though he takes off the fox mask, who did survive in this one due to his abilities as a shaman, telling him, thanks to this, as he smirked, connected me, as he smirked. Rokodaki didn't quite understand, but he was glad nevertheless. After that, they had to wait a month for Tanjiro's sword to be completed. So, yeah, during this, Rokodaki talked with Tanjiro, asking some things about what he could do, since he'd known that he's been somewhat off, in the sense that he was already able to use a form of the breathing technique in order to keep him from going exhausted, while the running to his house and up the mountain was going on when he first met Tanjiro. As well as the remark Giyu made about him being a shaman. He asked, I don't quite understand what a shaman is. He said you use the spirit of the dead for this. As Tanjiro thought for a moment and then stated, there's someone that you should meet. Or should I say two? Sabito and Nakomo flinch as they realize what he's trying to do. Being silent, Tanjiro extends his hand, saying Sabito, with an orb with a face that has a scar on it, go into his right hand, and then Nakomo has another orb with a face on it, goes into his left. As he goes and places these orbs into Orokodaki's chest, doing a somewhat pseudo-forced possession, which is a technique shamans can use in order to gain skills and abilities of those who have died, whether they be a swordsman or a blacksmith. Orokodaki sees inside a white void Sabito and Mikomo. He falls to his knees in this white void, cries from underneath his mask, stating, sorry, failed you. I did more. Would be Nikomo went up with Daki, taking him by a hand, stating, "Did everything you could. You weren't strong enough. Not once did we ever blame you for our deaths." Sabito stated, "Yes, I care too much about you, Orokodaki. Never hate you." As he snaps back into the real world, he can now see their ghosts as they are, along with all of the other students that died. He begins to cry again as the students, along with Nezuko, Tanjiro, and their father, was it a ghost, bow to him, saying, "Thank you, Oroko Taki, all that you've done for us." Looks at Tanjiro. He bows to him, stating, "Thank you, Tanjiro, giving this old man a gift more precious than his wildest dreams." Afterwards, the spirits hung around and just kind of stayed with Orokudaki, though Sabito and Mikomo stated that they were going with Tanjiro on his journey. He was pleased by this, stating, "All right, make sure this one doesn't get into too much trouble, would you?" With Sabito stating, "Obviously." Though later on, Orokodaki was able to talk to Tanjiro's father. Begin to talk as Tanjiro's father states, "Tell me, have you ever heard of a breath of fire?" Orokodaki states, "No, I've heard a breath of flame. Whenever someone tries to state that it's the breath of fire, they always correct them saying it's the breath of flame. At least their style is. I'm not sure, but my best guess is if you want to learn more about whatever this breath of fire is you're talking about, the family who teaches the breath of flame would most likely be your best bet. Though, now that Tanjiro is going to be a demon slayer, he's going to be going on missions along with Nezuko. So, it might be a bit, but one day I'm sure he'll meet with the Hashira, who is the pillar of fire. Well, pillar of flame, actually. So, with Orokodaki stating, "Your son and your daughter are quite remarkable." With Tanjiro's father smirking, stating, "I know, and I couldn't be prouder." Once the sword came, it was shocked to reveal that Tanjiro actually gained a black sword. To uh, the blacksmith's dismay, because he wanted to see a red one, poking Tanjiro in the face and doing some other things, because this man seems literally crazy. Especially with that other mask that apparently is becoming a bit of a trend. So, yeah. Afterwards, the crow begins to speak, shocking Tanjiro and his father, as well as Sabito and Makomo. Mostly because since they didn't survive final selection, they never got a talking crow. As it told them to go to a village to hunt down a demon, he was getting ready as Orokodaki gave him a box that will completely seal Nezuko from the sunlight. He thanks Orokodaki for all that he's done. Orokodaki does the same, as he begins stating, Due to what you did, I can now see all of my former students, and it makes it much less lonely here. I don't know how I can thank you, Tanjiro. Tanjiro smirking, stating, "You don't have to. Thanks to you, I have a way to go to demons and try to get answers on how to help my sister." As they then part ways, Sabito and Makomo say their goodbyes to Orokodaki, and they leave with Tanjiro, Nezuko, who's currently inside the box on Tanjiro's back, and Tanjiro's father, Tanjiro, as they now head off to Tanjiro's first mission as a demon slayer. And this is where we be ending this. Do hope you have enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also remember to hit that notification bell and make sure you set it to all. Do hope you're enjoying the New Year's special, which is, like I've said before, the New Year's special. So, with all that said, hope to see you again and later.